Hey everybody, what's up? This is Chris. Thought we'd do something a little bit different this week, considering we just wrapped up post-production on Lilith, by the way, if you didn't know that. It's done. The film is 100% complete. We made a digital cinema package, and we sent it out to festivals all over the country, including a few other countries. I know the UK, maybe a few other countries, Canada, oh, there's another one. So hopefully we will be giving you news sometime very soon about the distribution schedule, what festivals it's going to be playing in, and how you guys can see it. But so in the meantime, I figured that we would do something a little special. So today, this is a What's in My Camera Bag video. I'm going to show y'all what I carry in my personal camera bag. And for those of you who may not know, my primary camera is the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K, which I highly recommend. It's an excellent camera and certainly gives you a lot of bang for your buck. However, one thing that you do need to keep in mind is that even though it's a $1,300 camera, that camera does not work right out of the box. There's a lot of really essential things that you will need to get in order for the camera to properly function and for you to get the most out of it. A lot of that stuff I go over in this video right now. So if you are thinking about getting the Pocket Cinema Cam 4K, or if you just recently purchased it and are kind of thinking, oh well, what are some good accessories? What stuff should I really get to fully utilize this camera? I will show you in this video. So, all right, let's get right down to it. First up is the bag itself. This bag is honestly pretty cheap, nothing fancy. You can find it very cheap online. It's the Amazon Basics large camera bag. The large bit just means it has a few extra pockets and compartments inside. I take advantage of every inch of this bag. Mine is packed to capacity. At some point I may invest in one of those more expensive backpack style bags, but this definitely does the job. Here's everything in my bag. Well, at least everything that can be arranged into an aesthetic image. I left out a few wires, cables, bags, things like that, but I'll address those all later in the video. Believe it or not, you can fit all of this into that relatively small, quote-unquote, large camera bag. Now, the BMPCC4K is an amazing camera with tons of features. 4K, B-RAW, Pro Audio compatibility, a 5-inch touchscreen with an amazing UI, way more features than I could detail in this short video, so I'd recommend you do a search for more in-depth reviews of this camera. One thing I will mention, however, is that this camera is a micro 4/3 mount, meaning that it utilizes micro 4/3 lenses. This is the primary lens that I use. Notice that I said primary and not prime because it's a zoom. It's the Lumix GX Vario 12 to 35mm f2.8. Since this camera has a crop factor of about 2, this really sharp lens acts like a 24 to 70mm on a full frame. It makes it very, very versatile. My secondary lens is this Lumix 20mm f1.7. The f-stop on this gives you great low light performance as well as a nice shallow depth of field. Unfortunately, the 4K does not come with a battery charger, so you'll have to pick one up yourself. It uses Canon LPE6 batteries, although if you want to save a few bucks you can go with an off-brand like Wasabi. Speaking of batteries, I picked up a juice box, which honestly is a well-kept secret. This external battery gives you about 3 to 3.5 hours of power, but it's also incredibly lightweight, especially compared to other V-mount batteries. It gives you a sustainable charge while keeping the camera lightweight, and it can be mounted to most cages. And here's the charger for it. You'll need an LPE6 dummy battery in order for the juice box to work, however. Luckily, the battery cover on the camera pops right off for you. And here's all those items that didn't quite make it into that pretty shot of all the stuff neatly arranged from the beginning. Just couldn't find a nice place for them. Here's my VidPro SD card case. Since I usually just record in ProRes, you can get a lot of mileage out of SD cards. Obviously, the faster the better.
However, if you want to take advantage of the camera's USB-C port, you should pick up an SSD. The SSD is an amazing storage solution, and it's the cheapest way to record in 4K and B-RAW. The only downside to the SSD is that it can be a bit awkward to handle, so I'd highly recommend a cage to mount the SSD with. Now, this is the cage that I use. Unfortunately, it doesn't fit inside my bag, so I don't know if this is technically, in my bag, but sometimes I attach it to the outside of the bag using one of the bag's many straps. So this is the small rig cage for the Blackmagic Cinema Cam, and it's very sturdy. The whole set that I use will set you back almost $200, but I'd say it's worth it. I love the SSD mount accessory, and it also has this thing on the right that I can use to mount my juice box to. That came with the juice box. I also have this NATO handle that mounts to the cage. The handle not only allows you to carry the rig easily, it also has a cold shoe mount on the front that you can mount a shotgun mic on, which I oftentimes use when I want an all-in-one run-and-gun style rig. You might have noticed that dime bag looking thing before. That contains all my odds and ends for the cage. I also have 3 different size Allen wrenches and also a quarter. I found that a quarter can take the place of a flathead screwdriver oftentimes when dealing with video equipment, and it doesn't take up nearly as much space in your bag. I also have this old external audio recorder which I can pair up with a lav mic if I ever want to mic someone up for an interview or something like that. I also have these white balance, black balance, and gray cards which can help you out a lot in post, or they're also useful when calibrating the camera. So lastly, here's just a few things that I didn't mention on the first go around. On the upper left hand corner you can see I have cleaning lens tissue as well as a professional lens cleaner solution. Bottom right there's some more cleaning tools as well. You also, next to them on the left, you have lens hoods for my 2 lenses there. Above that is the K&F Concept Canon EF lens adapter, which if you ever want to use Canon lenses, it's perfect. It converts to micro four thirds. Bottom left, you also see that thing with the ball at the end. That is a lens shifter, which can be used to pull focus as well on some lenses. And then on the top you just have UV and ND filters, which I have in 2 different sets, one for the 12 to 35 millimeter and then another one for the 20 millimeter.
Alright, and that just about wraps everything up. If y'all have any questions for me, either about the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Cam 4K, anything else that I mentioned in my bag, feel free to leave a comment. If you like this kind of video, you want to see more content like this, feel free to like, subscribe, leave a comment. And also, if you really like our content, we have a Patreon, and if you want to swing on over to that, the link will be in the description below. Alright, so we will be seeing y'all again sometime soon. Later.